Good morning, all. So first, I will explain you how this is going to work. Me and Lakshmi will be having this conversation in the beginning. So we'll be starting with this basic questions. So what all you have asked in the Telegram channel. So those questions I'm going to ask her. So after this discussion, we are going to give like 15 to 20 minutes time in the end phase. So there, if you have any other questions to ask, so then you can ask the topper, right? Okay. So we'll start with the session then. Yes. Yeah. So, hello Lakshmi, how
Hello,
are you?
sir. I'm fine. You?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so first let me congratulate you. So congratulations on getting 176th rank.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So how is life after getting the rank? So usually, see, people have this tendency to believe that once you get the rank, your life is settled, or else you will go to some other place. Some sort of that imagination should be there. Are you still in that, or is like how is life different for you?
Uh, this this is not this won't be wrong if I give that credit to you also because
Okay.
we have been friends and you have been very philosophical about all those rank and all those stuff and I too believe that it's just a starting point. You start your professional career after that and you will learn in the process. So learning never stops, and I don't feel like I've stopped. I've reached a point, and now everything will stop because you will start things after this also.
Mhm.
And one more thing is it's relieving. It's relieving.
Okay.
It's true, but it's not like you stop here, and it's not like you have achieved something. It's like a it's like a good thing, but it's not like a you know
Yeah.
ending process.
Yeah, so got it. So, but like just for a moment, did you ever feel like, okay, all the efforts you had put and all the sacrifices you made throughout your career, so that felt like giving justifications of some sort?
Yes, 176th rank was like a really good rank for me. And I think whatever I did, the effort I have put through the process, they really worked and they really helped me. So, yes, I'm satisfied with my rank and result. And I'm really happy that whatever sacrifices I did make, it ended well.
Okay, nice, nice. So let me ask like another question. Okay, so just tell me like how this concept of getting into UPSC conceived in your brain, because considering you have done your PhD from IRI, right? So that itself is like a huge opportunity for most of the agriculture graduates. So even being there, still had this urge to like do something in the UPSC. How did that conception come to you, and what are the sacrifices, or let your journey be shared with all of us?
I considered the idea of preparing for UPSC in second year of PhD. It was very late, and I gave my first attempt when I was 25. So you can imagine how late it was.
Mhm.
But there was seniors who prepared for this and cleared this exam, and I had examples in my like nearby. So I had a feeling that if you prepare even in very late also and with very less resources, you can do it. So that
Mhm.
came from real life example
Mhm.
in our college, like in IRI.
Okay.
And second, I was a strong believer that if you put hard work and you will get the result. And why UPSC? Because I was interested in ARS, Agriculture Research Scientist, the exam. And I also appeared for once, but then I felt that it's not my deep interest. Deep down, I intended to do something else. Even I appeared for state civil, state forest service exams because I think I'm a person who would like to work for like more of the implementation position and more of broader work, scientific
Mhm.
works where like it's a great job, but it would be very specific, and I wanted to do something else. It was not my aptitude. I completely calculated my aptitude, and then I go for civil services exam. And
Okay.
after that only I started appearing from for every other exam like state civil service and UPSC. Both I appeared for both.
Okay. So just tell me, because this success didn't come overnight, right? So I had to put that 4 to 5 years of effort. So how was that journey, and what are the difficulties you faced, and how did you overcome that?
Uh, it started in 2019 February when I started the preparation. What mistake I did in my first attempt, that I was so sure of clearing prelims. I started directly for preparing agriculture optional because some of my seniors cleared the exam. So there was a pump and show that, okay, you can do it. Now that kind of feeling. So I started preparing for optional directly. In February, exam was in June, and in February I was preparing for agriculture. And agriculture is such a vast subject. Once you are drowning, you will get on drowning and you will hit the bottom. So I started preparing, and it was a never-ending thing. So in March, I stopped, wrapped up everything. I started preparing for prelims. But what problem happened? I failed in GS1, the cut-up paper. So it was just 67 of marks, 67 marks. So I completely understood some big mistake I'm making. So next year, I started preparing for mains after giving prelims. But by December, I started for pre. 6 month, thinking that 6 month is needed minimum. So that time also the cutoff was 92 and I scored 88. I didn't take any coaching or any such advices also. But then I felt there is some crucial advice I need because my agriculture optional was not complete also. Everything is haphazard. I was getting there, but it was just an inch away. They say, na, an inch or a mile doesn't matter. Failure is a failure. So a success is a success. So I thought that I need to take some help here. So then I started contacting you, right? Then like help me in agriculture optional because I think otherwise it will never be completed on time. And I had that idealistic viewpoint. If it is not complete, then don't go to exam. That's how I let my attempt. I delayed my attempts also. So what I did in second attempt, that happened. In third attempt, I didn't study a lot. I appeared for my state forest service exam and I cleared that. I rather completed optional, completed for all other like world history, like social topics for mains. And for prelims, I gave 3-4 months, good 3-4 months, and but that was not much more dedicated. I think the prelims effort I did in 2020 that came handy in 2021 and clear the prelims. Once I cleared the prelims, that COVID time, the mains was just 60 days apart, and I just cleared prelims like I was calculating from coaching materials, those things, and the key was not correct. Maybe I was getting less marks, but according to UPSC, I cleared. So I prepared, and then I had joined your test series, mock test series that I wrote, and I didn't write any test series for GS. I just get advice in optional, and that how I also made changes in my GS also. That okay, writing style will not vary for like a lot. So I write my mains, and that time I failed for like 20 marks to come into the final list. I appeared for the interview also, and this time it is here like I'm 176 marks, 176 rank. So as you said, it was a long journey and it was tiring in the process also. But sometimes somehow it is learning. At every step I learned, and at every step I took help. And that two things was unique about me, and I think that's how I got here.
Okay, so let me ask another question on the same thing which you were telling. See, there is the saying, people seldom see at the targets you aim in your life, but they can only perceive what you achieve in your life, right? So obviously, speaking of it's like this many years. So I believe like in between you would have had like small targets on daily basis, or else you would have imagined like by this month and I'm going to do this, or else by this 2 months I'm going to do this. Obviously, like we have this pandemic of procrastination, so we think of lot many things but we won't do it, right? So in that phase, how did you manage that frustration? Because I believe like most of the people will be going through the same. So if you let it out, like how you manage, I think it would be helpful for everyone.
I'm truly admitting that I am also a very procrastinating person. I would not do if there is no sword hanging on my head. So that always happened, but you have to set a smaller target also, like a weekly target. And if you're joining a mock or some guidance program, the benefit is you uh, get the target by someone else and they will be reviewing you. So if you are a person of procrastination, so better you join a program or you join a test series and write that and be diligent with that. The person sitting out other side of the table, they will be reviewing you at each step. That would help. Second is, know that this is a ruthless competition. There is no success. There is no success without hard work and diligence. And more than hard work, I think persistence and diligence is like much more important. You can do it without studying daily, without
Mhm.
achieving your targets. But saying that, also people set very unrealistic target, like completing this book in 3 days, which is not possible. Even if you do, you will forget. And making notes, people get crazier about like smaller things, like how much marks they scored in the mock. Like I had scored like 87 or 88 just in your mock, I remember. And I took it very positively, because if you're scoring low, you have a much more chance to score higher also. You have a lot of scope to improve. So people get diverted from their goal. One. Second, they set unrealistic target. Two. So setting realistic target is one, and reviewing them. If you can review, let somebody else review your target, and somebody else set you target for yourself. So these two are important. Set your target. Uh, Either you review if you are so diligent. Otherwise, let somebody else to review it, and set very realistic ones, and give it a small chunk of target, like weekly, monthly, then yearly. Yearly is not possible. Monthly or weekly, that kind of you can do.
Okay, so the gist is like basically understand yourself. So if
Yes.
you are a procrastination person, so understand that. If you are a diligent person, understand that. Accordingly, you manifest your preparation. Correct? Fine. So okay, so let me ask this. So as you were saying, your journey in the beginning itself, you directly started with your optional preparation. So like,
Mhm.
I just want to ask you, like, for a moment also, like, did it never pass into your brain that okay, should I take agriculture optional or should I take something else? So your conviction was there that you had to take agriculture as an optional. Why was that?
No, it came to my mind to take other options as well. Like
Mhm,
once I thought of, I also discussed, as I remember, I also discussed it with you and many friends to about which optional to take.
mhm,
I had sociology in my mind, but then why agriculture came, that agriculture was my graduation subject.
mhm,
And the advantage being, anyway, you know the subject very well,
mhm,
and you don't need any specific like help for that. You can
mhm,
start by yourself. You, with some help, you can do it.
mhm,
Like people go for complete coaching, 4 months
mhm,
coaching, five
mhm,
months coaching. You don't exactly need that for your
mhm,
own optional. You can, with
mhm,
a mock, with guidance, you can do your
mhm,
subject. So I was in a PhD and I had less time. So I thought, okay, I can do it minimal guidance. This optional will help. Second,
mhm,
I was a good scorer in agriculture during my graduation. I was a
mhm,
8.5 above person,
mhm,
even if I don't study. So I thought, okay, if I was scoring better then, and I saw the questions also, that was graduation or a master's level. No, it was
mhm,
repeating also. Though it has some questions from master's level also, but it mostly graduation. So I thought,
mhm,
okay, you can very much write them with
mhm,
graduation books also, what you have read in your graduation. So that those three things would help. And then there were no dearth of material, because I studied in IRA, and there were people who were preparing for agriculture also, and I had friends, so I thought they
mhm,
could help me every step. So
mhm. Okay, so let
that
me
I
ask
got.
this question. See, since you said like you were 8.5 OGP student, so most of the people, I mean, like agri graduates and also postgraduates often think that even after reading for 4 years or 6 years, they think that my grades are very less. So should I take this optional or not? So what is your take on that? Like, does this grades really matter?
Why I said grades? Because that also showcased my interest in the subject. If
Mm,
your grades were low due to some external reasons, like
mhm,
then you didn't like the subject, your teacher were not good,
mhm,
or something like that, or you were not mature enough to study and sit for the exam, then it's fine. You can improve now. But it was like, if it is like you are not at all interested in the subject and you didn't like it, you wanted to switch the career after agriculture, or such big stuff, then it showcases that you are a person who is not interested in the optional, and you have to stay 4 5 years with the optional. If you're not interested, you will not be able to read it for like many times,
Mhm.
because you read it like whole syllabus 4 5 times. If you're not interested, you will not be able to. So for
Mhm.
me, grade was a indicator of interest in the subject.
Interest.
For others,
Okay.
it can
Okay.
also.
Okay. Okay. See the same thing. Like in other words, if I say if you have the interest on the subject, or
Yes.
else if you have understood the fundamentals, so fundamentals are good enough to write the exam, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have understood that, you can proceed.
Okay. So let me ask you like another question on the same thing. Like now we have this confidence, or else let's say for example a success in this exam. So now do you really think, or else do you subscribe to the people that they want to take this agriculture option? As let me rephrase it. Do you think like people should take agriculture option?
Two kind of people can take agriculture as an optional. One,
Okay.
those who had agriculture as their degree subject.
Mhm.
Okay, for them, it is like they have studied it for 4 years, they have invested in it. So why not to reap the benefit now? One.
Mhm.
Second,
Okay.
people who are not belonging to agriculture graduation like subjects,
Mhm.
like they have studied botany, zoology, all those subjects, and now they want to study agriculture because they have interest, and maybe
Mhm.
their subjects were not scoring or something like that. They have
Mhm.
reasons, their interest,
Mhm.
they're interested.
Mhm.
So they also can take. The thing is
Okay.
proper guidance in the beginning.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you
Mhm.
will be in a like circle of losing yourself in the game.
Mhm.
You start wrong, you will do wrong, and you will be idealistic in the process, and you will be lost. So
Mhm.
with proper guidance, one can start also, and one can, with a very good effort, one can score a lot of marks also, even
Okay.
if not being from agriculture background.
Mhm. Mhm. And there are so many examples, in fact. So people from different
Yes,
background have cleared with agriculture as their optionals.
yes, true.
Right, right. So, okay, let me ask this question. Like, let's say people often think like if they won't score 300 plus in their, especially agriculture optional as such, they won't be getting into the list. So classical example itself is you. So because you didn't even score that much, like in 300 plus margin, but still you proved that that is good enough to get very good rank, right? If I am not right, if I am not wrong, I think yours rank is like the highest one with agriculture optional, right? So you have proved it wrong, right? So what is your take on that?
This exam is a like game of permutation and
Hmm.
combination, if I put it. You get good at some, and you get good at bad at some, and when it is being added, it gets average out. I
Mhm,
scored well in others, so my low score in agriculture get evened out. Even within agriculture optional, I scored well in paper one and lesser in paper two, but that also evened out. So it
mhm,
doesn't matter like you are scoring 300 or scoring 250.
mhm,
When you are scoring overly good marks,
mhm,
you will be through. But okay, in optional, people want to score 300, and it's a good way to go into the list. Okay, and it's not undoable. You know what problems I had before the exam,
mhm, mhm.
in which
Yeah,
condition
yeah,
I did right.
yeah.
Okay, so if I am saying that if people are like getting getting the situation better, and they're also diligently preparing, and also they're being guided well, they're writing good mocks, 300 is not a non-achievable thing.
Mhm.
But then 300 is the not only the way to get into the list. Even if you're scoring 300, you might be not in the list. There are chances, you see. You have to get overall score right. It's not
Yes.
singular thing.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so as you started this optional, like preparation for this optional, in the beginning phases, what are the challenges you faced with respect to optional as such?
One is vast syllabus.
Mhm,
It is lengthy on paper also, and lengthy in practice also.
mhm,
So there are a lot of books to read. Second, you have to like if there are question on rice packager practice, you can ignore wheat also, you can ignore ragi also. There is parallelly, there are many topics to be covered. If they are, even they have not asked it till now, they might. So the syllabus, hidden syllabus is much more larger, if even if you do PYQs. Third, there is no such guidance when I started. Now you have started it. But then I had asked my senior that which mock you wrote, which guidance you took from, who can help me. My senior had cleared it, the Sushil Kumar sir. So he helped me with the books, but many things also, he also he also said me that there is no such guidance in the market as such. I didn't know of any guidance in the beginning. That could have helped. So these three things, and again sometimes I feel that uh, it gets low score, and it's more scientific. So people, if, when they write it without any guidance, and they write it like a GS topic, especially paper one, they tend to get lower score. So everything sums up to one thing, that when I started out, there were large syllabus, there were hidden syllabus, and there were no guidance available or no mock available. That could have helped.
Okay. See, another popular misconception, or else like I can say myth, which is in the market, is that people, especially the aspirants, they will run behind this toppers material. So do you think really that toppers material is going to work, or self-made notes is the better one?
Toppers material, okay, you can see them how they made their notes, but those spoon feeding never works. You have to make your notes, and you have to make your notes in terms of your understanding and your ideas, keeping fewer points constant, like I have reiterated it at many platforms, that write scientific definitions, take this optional as scientific optional because it's a science paper, and write a very proven and very bookish definition of every keyword. That keeping that constant, you can add or delete anything you want in your own notes. Toppers note are not sacrosanct. You can make your own note, and that's the best way to go.
Okay, okay. So let's say, for example, today I got this motivation that I have to prepare my notes. So first basic challenge, like most of the candidates will be facing, is that, sir, the notes, it's, I mean, the starting and ending point for any topic, that deciding that itself will be difficult for them. So how did you figure out in the beginning phases?
See, if I start making my notes today, which I didn't do, but I now I know that it could have been better. In first attempt I did, but latter phases I did this. That you take one topic, for example, if you are taking rice, a subject, you will make note on rice. Then see PYQs for 10 years, which questions they have asked on rice. Then combine them, and I would give the heading rice, and I will write down those questions year by year, and then I'll read the subject rice from one source, and I'll see if these questions are being covered or not. And whichever questions are being covered, stage by stage, I will write them, and which are not being covered, I will follow other source. If it is being covered, then it's fine. I'll stop rice here, and I'll then move to next subject. I will not wait for making my notes 100% proof and 300 plus scoring. I'll just stop here, and I'll move forward to other topic, and I'll do the same process. Once my notes are ready, I'll read it. I'll appear for mock. I'll write mocks. I'll do PYQs, and then I'll do value addition in my notes from different sources. And there are many sources for value addition, but beginning, you have to stick to 1-2 books and standard books, and you have to make your notes after reading those books once or twice, understanding the concepts and seeing the PYQs, not blindly writing everything in your notes and not making your notes like 300 plus scoring notes.
Okay.
You just start.
Okay. So like another important question, let's say, for example, you was touching on this value addition part, right? Let's say, for example, if I have heard you correctly, so you were basically saying that establish the fundamentals properly in the material first. So if for every topic which has appeared in the PYQs, if you have the fundamental thing in your notes, that is, we can say like most of the notes is done. So after that, it is about value addition, correct?
Yes.
So for value addition, usually like, let's say, especially when I was preparing way back, so it was basically like reading research articles. So I spent a lot of time in like extra research, which is not exactly needed for the exam. So this realization came after so many years. But for you, so when you were making this value addition, what were the sources you were going to? And does this value addition, like, can you just take one example, like one topic, and say like what exactly is the value addition?
For example, in weed science, I read from TK Das a book, and that was a very good book enough. But then I saw some diagram in evolutions material online,
Mhm,
so I added
mhm,
those. Then I searched for a topic, and a research paper came. I didn't go for many research paper. The beginning, first research paper which came, I'll just open that and I'll see
mhm,
any catchy diagram or phrases,
mhm,
and I'll
mhm,
pick that up and I'll add into my notes over.
mhm,
And I'll not
mhm,
wait for many more. I'll just stop it here.
mhm,
Three, two, like my thumb rule was one source of complete following books, one set of standard books, one set of complete like value addition material, and one random value addition material. Then,
mhm, mhm.
then it's over. After that, I won't wait. If I'm not able to attempt some question on the basis of them, I'll then go for like help or some value addition. I'll ask you or some of my friends in
Mhm.
I didn't do a lot of research because I said I was one very lazy, second I was a very procrastinating person. So I stopped it here.
Okay. See, like in other words, or as whatever you are trying to convey, if I put like this, let me know whether it will be right or wrong. So that is basically first have the understanding, like for a topic, what exactly you need. So keeping
Yes,
that in mind, if you go to research articles or else like Google or else anything, so that will be better because that will be reducing your time. So then
true.
you will be having perfect idea like what should be taken from these sources, right? So that would reduce the time.
Yes. You have to
Yes.
be extra smart when doing this.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it will end up losing a lot of time of yours. You will end up
Mhm,
losing your time.
mhm,
So read POIQs, read syllabus, make it by heart, read the concepts, understand it. Then when you see the diagram, now you will understand in which question this diagram might have fitted and
mhm,
where it might help me. So
mhm.
you said it
Okay.
right.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what is the role of this PYQ? Because basically, you speak to anyone, let it be of GS or else any optional for that matter. Everybody will be the first advice will be like go through this PYQs, analyze them. So, this is like sort of I can say generic term for the people. So, those who are in the beginning phases, can you just simplify it? Like, what is the meaning of this analysis?
One, it will help you understand what to read and what not to. Which are there is a Pareto principle, na 80-20. 80% of your outcome comes from 20% of your efforts, and vice versa. So
Yes.
know which 20% of the topics will give you those 80% of marks. That helps. PIQ helps in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Second, it sets boundary, what not to read, because
Mm-hmm.
that's much more important than what to read. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you keep on reading a lot of things and if you're not knowing which is important, then you will be like straining yourself in the process and not getting the result. So
Mm-hmm.
POQ helps in two,
Mm-hmm.
initiation also and ending also.
Okay. So like this is not a marketing stunt as such. So just like honest view I want. Like, do you really think that programs like this IRI, I think you have seen the poster and all. So do you think that that would help the candidates?
I truly feel so. But one have to be very diligent about it. Like if he or she is joining a program, they have to do it very diligently, take every guidance given by sir, and also update his or her knowledge according to that,
Mm-hmm.
and give you the mocks timely. If they do
Mm-hmm.
this with the program, they can really score 300 plus. It's not hard. If you are helping them out, there is somebody to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
They can make their notes good, improve them, make value
Mm-hmm.
addition. I saw also the post and the topics you give in the group.
Mm-hmm.
They can help in value addition. They will save a lot of time and they can invest it in other place also. If somebody is
Mm-hmm.
dedicatedly guiding them, then it will be great and this would be helpful. But
Yeah.
one has to be very diligent about it and very
Mm-hmm.
serious. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like they joined it and they think it's a panacea for every
Mm-hmm.
problem of this. They have to be
Mm-hmm.
very.
Okay. Okay. So second important question, or is like one of the important question I can say. So what is the importance of writing practice? Because I have seen so many candidates who wrote their first answer in the examination hall itself. So what is the importance of writing practice before the exams?
I many platforms say that I didn't write any mock for GS. or optional also. I wrote few mocks and I took your guidance.
Mhm,
But having said that, know my background also. I have
mhm,
written a lot of thing before it, like a lot
mhm,
of essays in competitions, and I was a avid reader of books. I had read a lot of fictions, and I wrote a lot of short stories by myself. So I had a hang of writing, and also for ARS also I have written many exams. And as I said, I was a person who scored good marks in graduation. That means I have written a lot of exams seriously.
mhm,
So having said that, also I practiced 10, 12 questions at my home in my own comfort,
mhm,
and saw that whether I am conforming into the time limit and the pace limit, and whether my answers are looking good or not. That I have done. And also I wrote 10, 15 answers and sent to you before, also in second or third attempt.
mhm, mhm.
Mock only I wrote few, but answer writing I did.
Yeah.
So answer writing itself is the fundamental. Mock
Mhm,
is secondary.
mhm,
If somebody is giving it in terms of mock with proper timing and with proper marking, is very good. But
mhm,
writing practice is the core of it, how you are
mhm,
writing. So focus on writing practice, but uh, after completion of 70% of your syllabus. Otherwise, if you start, you will be lacking in the content, and content is the king,
mhm,
obviously. And
mhm,
writing just adds value to it. So make your content ready, take help, take guidance, how to make notes and how to make your content, then go for writing a mock. But write it diligently and take guidance.
mhm.
That I would.
Okay. Since I know you a little bit well, so I know that you have this diversified interest, diversified hobbies, which most people doesn't have. So, like, let me ask this. So, what is the role of this hobbies in this preparation as such, and also in role it plays in getting you into that list?
I would say a lot. Like they helped me be calm and cool even in the exams when I didn't know much of the questions. I and they made me. They helped me prepare for larger battles in life. You know
Yeah,
my
yeah,
situation before
yeah,
exam. So how many times I've told you that I am breaking down. I will not write the exam probably,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm not in a situation to talk about exams also, just 20, 30 days before exam, and you know that. And the way you have supported, I remember that it's not about just being a teacher or a guide. It's about being such a great soul, yeah. Seriously, I mean, just 30 days before I was not. So the hobbies kept me going, and my diverse interest and my interest in philosophy, that helped me stay strong and stay calm even the storm was around all around my like head.
mhm,
So and also your hobbies make who you are. They make you be be joined to your root also, and also trying to touch the sky. They
mhm,
keep you grounded also.
mhm,
So they helped. My hobby of writing, reading, and writing philosophical essays, and also they
mhm.
helped. Yes.
Okay. So for those people who doesn't know you, that you are already serving as a assistant conservator of forest in Odisha. So that basically you are undergoing through this training program. And like any forest service program, that basically training program, it will be like physically very demanding, right? And also I know that you
Yes.
are a person of procrastination, but at that particular phase when you are going through, so you are a different person. So let us walk through that, because see, for a person who is that much lazy to like put some effort, and when you are going through physically very intense hard work training, but still you found out time to write the answers and you were sending me. So how that happened, and what is that X factor which which pushed you to do that?
It came from my family. My mother was suffering cancer, and she was undergoing her treatment in Tata.
Yeah.
Then also she was very curious about my preparation and how I am doing. Though I'm a person of very like less. I am a person who is satisfied with very less, and I am like a very lazy and procrastinating person, and I'm like happy at every place. So that happens with me all the time. So there were friends, there were you, there were my husband, and there were other friends from IRA who kept me motivating, like, you're just an inch away, do it. You can do it.
Mm,
And also my hectic training that made me realize that if not today, it will not be tomorrow. You can do it, or you will fail it, like you will lose it.
mhm,
You will achieve your dream this time or never.
Mhm.
So even if I come, I go to training from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. After that, I'll read.
Mhm.
And I said, na 2021, I did a lot of report for men's. So that also stayed somewhere.
Mhm.
That really helped.
Mhm.
And after 6 p.m. in the evening, I'll sit like 6:30 around, and 12:30 or 11:30, I'll read. You used to
Mhm.
say na that 5 6 hours you read, you forget about everything. I would
Yeah.
like text you in every second day that I am just getting less time, whether it is possible to clear with this or not. I will get anxiety every 4 5 days, and I'll
Yeah.
text you.
Yeah.
And there were every time there will be response that people did it and you can do it. If you are not doing it, it's like you are
Yeah.
not doing enough. And
Yeah.
those also, I took help. I took a lot of help, and I took a lot of guidance from people whosoever. And at those point, people were very kind and generous towards me. I will be really indebted to people, mm, uh, to you especially, because I know for agriculture I contacted, like even for the material also, that do this research and tell me the 3 4 pointers. So thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
And that came from my family and friends, obviously.
Okay. See, actually, there is this saying that is, there is basically two types of pain in this world. One is pain of doing, that is pain of discipline, or else pain of regret. So I believe that you chose that pain, a pain of that discipline for that particular time. So this is what usually I also say in the classes, that choose between these two. If you're choosing for the comfort of that laziness for that temporary period, you have to have the regret throughout your life. So this is the battle which will be constantly
True.
going on throughout the life, right? So I am glad that you actually broke that barrier, at least in that phase, right? So that is good. So next one,
Thank you.
yeah. So this is very important. See, because I know like what you were going through in that particular phase. But let's say for most of the candidates, it could be different, because everybody is fighting their own battles, and it need not be like as great as yours or as like as small as anything. So there is nothing called as low in the battles. Everything is a great battle to be fought. So what is that? Did you did you do any like special exercise or as like meditation or something of that sort before going to the examination, or else how was that examination mindset for you?
I'd like tell to myself, forget everything what you knew, and questions will be surprising. It's no doubt. You will be surprised there. So forget it. You know nothing. Just go there and give your 100%.
Mhm.
You will there were thumb rule, like see a question in 10 seconds, break down keywords and stick to your definitions, write down the keywords and give an example. As many examples as you know, make a diagram if it suits. If not, if doesn't, then innovate something. Like I would do a box rectangular and write the facts there,
Mhm.
highlighters.
Mhm.
So highlighter of my answer. So
Mhm.
examiner would see that, acha, this person has covered this answer in
Mhm.
her whole like 2 pages.
Mhm.
And where I would know nothing, I would write the keywords, just explain them, whatever I understood. I will,
Mhm.
and the thumb rule was leave no questions, complete your paper on time, do the underlining, and write neat and clean. Those are
Mhm.
the thumb rule. I'll go, I'll stay to myself and forget everything. It's just like 10th board,
Mhm.
that be diligent, write there, complete the paper on time.
Mhm. See, another
With this
important
much in my
question.
mind, I'll.
Yeah. So another important question is that, see, this legibility of writing actually it plays a role, because I also have evaluated so many copies and seen so many students. Because see, I feel very sad for one student who was there in your batch also. His content was good, presentation skill was good, but the legibility was bad. Despite that, he was getting somewhere around 265, 268. So almost as like your marks only. Because of that poor legibility, he was not able to make into the list. So, like, how do you think, or how much is that value of legibility of writing in the exam?
See, you will write very fast,
Hmm.
and there will be less time for every answer. And the examiner will check also very fast.
Yeah, yeah.
The so if your answer is not readable enough, somebody will get frustrated. At the end of the day, it's not OMR sheets. It's a people. It's not computer. They're checking the copy. So legibility is the thing, sadly, because it's not a test of intelligence. These are many stuff behind it. Though we're advancing with computer and word files, but handwriting does matter. If it's not beautiful, it's okay, but it has to be readable.
Hmm.
Legibility is a thing.
Hmm. Okay. So, okay. So, any word of advice you want to give for like candidates who are writing this year means?
they're writing this year mains after this year prelim paper, then it's they're really doing a great job.
Mhm,
And seriously speaking, I also don't know how people get selected in the exam. I am also
mhm,
as clueless as they are. So it's
mhm,
like, do your 100% and forget about everything. You know everything. And
mhm.
I'm just the other side of the spectrum now, because it just panned out this way.
Yeah.
My permutation and combination worked and you didn't. That doesn't mean you are anybody lesser than me and you need my advice. I think we are very much at same platform, and if I could do it, and you will very well do it. Just
Mhm.
believe in yourself. You're
Okay.
good enough. You're good enough.
Okay. So, what is your advice for the students who will be writing next year's attempt?
Next to prelims,
Yeah, next year prelims.
give a good amount to prelims now. Like,
Mhm,
it's tough. 4 5 months is needed, and a good practice on CSAT is needed. I was
mhm,
lucky enough, I didn't practice any CSAT but cleared. But
mhm,
I know very good people clearing very good GS, but not able to clearing the CSAT. Though I don't see that CSAT should be an hindrance, but it is becoming one. So
mhm,
prepare it very well. 4 5 months time is needed for prelims one. Second, be ready with your optional beforehand. Take a
mhm,
good mock and write
mhm,
it diligently and be get it checked and get advice. If
mhm,
you can get it,
mhm,
like
mhm.
if
Okay.
time suits you. If you're working professional, maybe, but write answers that
Mhm.
way.
No.
Third, take help, and
Mhm,
also do some type of exercise like meditation, yoga, or something, or
mhm,
practice a hobby that would help.
mhm, mhm. So, like in interview, like though the people, like especially let's say, if a person has done this graduation in agriculture and he has not taken agriculture as the optional, but still the questions tend to be somewhere around 75 to 80 questions on the agriculture itself. So, how do you think that your graduation matters in this personality test?
It does matter, because you are a person of agriculture, they take it. If you
Mhm,
have done graduation, then you have chosen some other optional just for the exam. But you are an agriculture graduate, you are an agriculture graduate, that's a fact. So it
mhm,
will come. Agriculture questions will come. You should have
mhm,
basic understanding in the bread and butter that you have chosen for 4 years.
mhm,
So that is important, and there will be questions.
mhm,
It will be from your optional, and
mhm,
it can be random also. In my case, there were many questions were not even related to neither agriculture nor my hometown, nothing. They were random.
mhm,
So
mhm,
it can happen anyway, but you have to practice agriculture questions if you are an agriculture graduate, even if
mhm.
you are taking different optional.
Okay. So basically, for as you said for interview, sorry, as you said for like mains, it is same for interview also. Go without any biasness. Don't expect anything.
True,
But while preparing, prepare for everything.
true.
Right?
That
Said
advice
is
only I took from you.
that's correct. But said is easy, but doing that is very tough, right? So how did you transition between that? Because see, this knowledge is, I always believe that it is a burden, because we always tend to speak of like whatever the experience we have, whatever the knowledge we have, and tend to like forget about the simplicity. So we make our answers, we make our response to the questions very complex that another person will not be able to connect to us itself. So how that process of simplicity is important.
I remember after my mains result, I gave first interview with you, a
Mhm,
mock, like
mhm.
like a friend, one to
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
So, and I was like, okay, I did it last time. Why didn't I score a good mark? Or like, why did I score less? So you used to say, forget it. It's a new
Mhm,
year attempt and new year thing. So
mhm,
it's what you said, that with knowledge, a knowing burden of knowing comes, that I
mhm,
know and I'm failing, and
mhm,
it gives you a lot of anxiety. So forget that you know. Keep it very easy and simple. Keep it like your maiden attempts, first
mhm,
one.
mhm, mhm,
And it's hard, but you have to practice it. You have to practice it like, and there are steps. You have to make 50 questions from your DAF. You write down your each question pointer wise, practice them, and after that, whatever comes, it's like surprise, and answer that with your originality. Don't lose it in the process.
mhm, mhm.
So keeping strong to your own roots and being original is one way.
Okay.
And second, practice also. it's skillful. You have to know things also, and you have to be original also. It's really hard, but you have to practice it, and people will do.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I believe in this women empowerment because I don't believe in the concept that women has to be restricted just for the kitchen purpose, right? So they are like ruling the world, and they are like, as the essay topic was also given in UPSC. So the hands which rock the cradle can also like rock the world. So that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
So because I know that you are a strong woman, so like, what is the advice, or as like, what is that one word or as one sort of experience which you can suggest for other fellow women aspirants so that they can progress in their path? Because most of the times in this society that they won't have the luxury, or as let's say for example, have that understanding by the society that they should be left to do something. So for them, what is the advice you can give?
Two kind of burden comes, one from
Mhm,
family and other from society. The societal burden is like, you can just be ignorant about it, you ignore it. But the family burden is much more important, that comes, and we are very emotional kind, and we generally generally take it to our heart, the family one. But you
mhm,
know that once you stand on your feet and do something, your family will also understand. Know this.
mhm,
So take your time and achieve your aim. And whatever may come in your way, just be calm and think of other alternatives. Like they're saying for a marriage, and you can convince them that this one serious attempt. But at the same time, be very diligent. Don't let the world say that you are just wasting around or roaming around or wasting your time, and you're not proving yourself. So
mhm,
one is do hard work and be diligent so that your family believe you.
mhm,
Second, and second is sometimes you take it really seriously. Your family also. You say them that two more attempt, or like whatever you want to do, ask for them and be
mhm,
a communicator.
mhm,
Keep a proper dialogue with your parents or your family that see this is happening and this is what I want to do. If I won't do, I'll be regretting, and this won't be good. So
mhm,
be a good communicator, make a dialogue, and at the same time be an achiever. Do what you say, stand up to
mhm.
your own words.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fine, Lakshmi. So now, like, we'll let the participants who are in this meeting to ask the question if they have anything. So, like, anyone has the question, can like unmute your mic and then ask the question. No one? Okay, okay. If no one has the question, then so like, see, Lakshmi, I am utterly proudful of what you have achieved thus far, and I wish like all the best for you for any future endeavors you are going to pursue. So, all the best for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for like agreeing for this Zoom session.
Thank you. Pleasure is
Thank
mine,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So all of you, thank you for participating here. So we'll try to give this recorded video if possible. So let's see. Thank you all.